Welcome everyone. This is One Gratitude. I'm Lorraine Aguilar. Go ahead and type those gratitudes and I'll share mine with you. Today, my gratitude is for shelter. You see me in my car taking shelter from a very, very windy day. It's a gorgeous day here in Southern California, but a good one for kite surfing, not for surf surfing. And just something as simple as taking shelter in my car makes me think about the people in Ukraine right now and how important shelter is. You know, as we face a massive refugee crisis, as we face war in a way that affects all of us. This little act of me seeking shelter makes me instantly connect with all the people in the world who are seeking shelter in much bigger and more profound ways. So, so my gratitude is for shelter in my life and extending that gratitude out to the world. My wish for everyone to have shelter, especially during these critical times, and especially for the people in Ukraine and fleeing Ukraine, as well as for the Russians who are standing up and risking their lives to do something as simple as put flowers and a sign there saying no war. So anyway, that's my gratitude today for the importance of shelter and the need for shelter right now. What is yours as I sing a little song for you? And I'm going to sing a song that's inspired by one of our viewers. I see Everardo Ramiro, who I love playing Mexican songs with. So Eve, here's a little song inspired by you, my friend. Cielito lindo, los corazones de la sierra morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Se alegra cielito lindo, los corazones. Aha! And even though that's a little mariachi song, I love the lyrics. Cantan, sing, don't cry, because when you're singing, you can be happy. So anyway, that's my little contribution. And I can't wait to see your gratitudes. Oh my gosh, we've got Oluf, we've got Klaus, we have Wolfgang, we have someone new, Rahana, NVC. Hey, a nonviolent communication giraffe, welcome. And Everardo, Eve, he says, thanks, I love your style. My pleasure, Eve. I like your style too, senor. Okay, the first gratitude I see is from Oluf, Geek Tie Guy in the San Francisco Bay Area. He says, I'm grateful for the little bit of rain that fell the last 2 nights. Yes to rain, and as you know, here in California, we are a state that where water is so critical to the functioning of our state, and it's a precious thing. So yes, Oluf, I share that gratitude for a little rain. May we get a little more, and may it all renew our aquifers to keep us alive. And Klaas NVC from the Netherlands says, I'm grateful for meditation teachings. Yay for meditation teachings. I'm a fan. And what's coming to mind when I read that, Klaas, is how many, I've often heard them called as Dharma talks or discourses. And, in the same way that Christians have a lot to say about the words of Jesus and the meaning of that. Well, the words of Buddha, even though Buddha never claimed to be a god, to my understanding, there's a lot of words of wisdom around meditation and the technique, and all the things around meditation that it can bring us. So yes for teachings of meditation. Yay, Rahana NVC, so glad to have you. And they're saying, because I'm not sure who you are, but I'm just happy that you're here. Rahana NVC says, I'm grateful for choice in picking nourishing food for my body. I'm really loving that you said choice. That's resonating with me, that you have choice in picking nourishing foods. I was just in a conversation with my brother the other day. He's a California Highway Patrol person, and sometimes we talk about policing and prisons, and we were talking about a study that was done about prisoners who don't have a choice of what they eat. If you're in prison, you eat what they're served. And if I recall the details, when they made the shift from basically low quality food and junk food to whole foods, fresh foods, having fruit instead of a candy bar, etc., that there was actually a decrease in violent outbursts. So imagine that, just by choosing different food, although these prisoners didn't have a choice, but someone empowered chose to make a change, to see less violence as a result of what we put in our bodies. I mean, if that doesn't speak to the mind-body connection. So anyway, Rahana, I'm not sure if that was the intention of your gratitude, but I'm grateful for what you said about choice in picking nourishing foods. Yay, Wolfgang, Foxtrot B in Germany says, I'm grateful for health. This week we had 2 false COVID tests, which took over 24 hours to identify with another test. In the meantime, we really longed for health. Oh my gosh, Wolfgang, I can't imagine how, I would imagine how scary that might be to have had 2 false positive COVID tests, to think that you have COVID and then waiting for more than 24 hours to find out if that's really true or not. In the meantime, you really longed for health. Wow, that must have been a very wild 24 hours, thinking that you had COVID and longing for health. I mean, that sounds like almost like a grieving. And then I can only imagine the relief to find out that those tests were false. So I'm relieved for you, and at the same time, my heart goes out. That must have been quite a scare to receive those results, and good for you for following up on them to find out, if those are correct or not. So, Rahana, thank you so much for clarifying your name. So welcome, Rahana, who is Rahana NVC, who goes by she, her. Yay! Hey, and just want to welcome also, we got 2 surfers on the line, Surfer Jay and Rick Verga. Right on. Good to see you both. I remember surfing with the both of you at Surfside Jetty, at Surfside Beach Community years ago, where Jay did an almost paddleless takeoff on a very steep wave. So, okay, those are all the gratitudes I see from everyone. I will check back one last time before signing out. But in the meantime, let me give you my wishes for this beautiful Saturday, whether it's Saturday evening or day. May this gratitude practice that we share, both those of us here in the live community, as well as to the many of you who watch this, the recorded version of this on LinkedIn and on other social platforms, may this practice that we share help us to stay fiercely connected to the things in life that really matter, and make it easier for us to release the things that don't matter as much or that no longer matter to us, as we do our part, whatever that is, to facilitate humanity rising during these tender times. For those of you who don't know already, I changed my Instagram profile in two ways. One is I am now going by my name, Lorraine Aguilar, instead of Working Harmony. And then secondly, I have a link in my bio, if you could please check it out, to a Kickstarter fundraiser page that is sponsored by my nonviolent communication colleagues in Sweden, who are supporting peace workers in Ukraine. They have, in the past, before the war, before the invasion, they had supported peace workers and giving them training in nonviolent techniques to take back to Ukraine. And so that connection is still alive. And if you can make any donation, no matter how small, to support money going to these peace workers in Ukraine, Ukrainians, or any way, it doesn't have to be this way, but any way to hold Ukraine in your heart and to lend your support, that would be much appreciated. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful Saturday. Those are all the gratitudes I see. And thank you for joining me.